Simone de Beauvoir. Feminist philosophy ***. What if growing up already labeled feels like being handed a neatly wrapped gift, while also feeling like discovering the box contains instructions you never agreed to follow? Simone de Beauvoir noticed this strange tension early, because society often whispers who you are supposed to be long before you have time to wonder who you might become. She asked why some paths feel natural and obvious, while others feel oddly invisible, as if they were erased from the map before anyone could even look. This question feels confusing, because rules can sometimes protect people, yet the same rules can quietly shrink dreams at the same time. Simone wondered how much of being a boy or a girl is truly chosen, and how much is gently taught through toys, stories, compliments, and expectations. She noticed that children absorb these messages the way sponges absorb water, without realizing someone else poured it there first. According to Simone, people are not born with fixed meanings because meaning slowly forms through experiences, habits, and repeated messages heard over many years. This idea feels exciting because it suggests change is possible, yet it also feels unsettling because it challenges ideas that feel comfortable and familiar. Simone famously suggested that becoming who you are is a process, not a starting point, which sounds hopeful while quietly raising many difficult questions. If becoming is ongoing, then stopping growth early might feel like freezing a movie halfway through and calling it the ending. She paid special attention to how girls were often taught to watch themselves, rather than explore the world with messy confidence. This watching can feel like living inside a mirror, where movement exists but freedom feels oddly delayed. At the same time, Simone did not say rules appear from nowhere, because families, history, and culture always shape the room before anyone enters it. Here the puzzle deepens, because influence is real, yet it does not fully erase choice either. Simone believed people often confuse tradition with destiny, even though traditions are made by people who were also once children. Kids can sense this when they ask why something is always done that way, and the answer arrives without a reason. She wanted readers to notice how repeating patterns feel safe, even while limiting what feels imaginable. Yet Simone did not say everyone is secretly trapped, because awareness itself can loosen invisible ropes. She compared unexamined roles to costumes worn so long they feel like skin. Removing those costumes can feel frightening, because nobody knows how cold or freeing the air might feel. Simone's feminism did not shout commands, because shouting replaces thinking with noise. Instead, she invited questions that linger, even when answers refuse to settle comfortably. One question keeps returning, asking who benefits when certain roles stay unchanged. Another question follows closely, wondering who feels tired while pretending everything feels natural. Children understand this tiredness when they feel pressure to behave a certain way without knowing why. Simone believed freedom grows when people notice these pressures without immediately obeying them. However, freedom also brings responsibility, which makes hesitation feel reasonable rather than weak. She knew change does not happen instantly because habits are stubborn and patience is slow. That slowness creates another tension because waiting can feel like acceptance even when it is not. Simone stood in this uncomfortable space, pointing without pushing, questioning without locking doors. Her ideas suggest that fairness is not about swapping who leads and who follows, but about rethinking the path itself. This rethinking feels confusing because the old path is familiar, even when it feels cramped. Simone noticed that stories often teach children what endings are allowed, long before they imagine writing new ones. Changing stories therefore feels risky because imagination does not come with safety rails. Yet she believed imagination is how freedom quietly begins before courage catches up. Feminist philosophy here becomes less about fighting and more about noticing patterns hiding in plain sight. Simone asked readers to stay curious about these patterns instead of calling them invisible laws. Curiosity, she believed, loosens certainty without immediately replacing it. This can feel uncomfortable because certainty feels warmer than questions. Still, Simone trusted discomfort because growth rarely happens inside perfectly arranged rooms. Her ideas move like a slow flashlight, revealing corners rather than building walls. Nothing is completely torn down, yet nothing stays untouched either. Children living inside these questions might feel confused, but confusion can mean thinking has started. Simone never promised clear answers because clear answers often stop conversations too early. She left space for disagreement because thinking needs room to stretch. As the story pauses, the question remains open, asking who you might become if fewer labels spoke first.